Hey everyone, thanks for checking out Game Author for iPad. Game Author is an iPad exclusive app. It's available now in the iOS App Store, and it is all about 3D dice for tabletop designers and players. Game Author does a lot of different things, but what I want to talk about today is just the basics of rolling. Game Author uses a 3D, physics-based engine to roll its dice, and it supports all the traditional die sizes from D4 through D20. This is what you see when you first open up the app. Notice the three primary buttons at top: Roll, Manage, and Design. Today we're going to focus on Roll. The middle of the screen is the tabletop. When you roll the dice, that's where they'll appear. In the bottom center, you'll see some colored dice. That's your dice pool, and that's what we'll be rolling. So there's a couple different ways that we can roll the dice. I'm going to go with the obvious one first, which is just to hit the Roll button in the lower right. If you prefer gesture controls, you can swipe up from the bottom. And if you happen to have an Apple Smart keyboard, you can hold on the Command key to see various options. In this case, you can roll with Command R. Since Game Author uses a 3D camera, you can touch any of the dice to zoom in. And then use your finger to pan around. If you tap any of those dice again, or hit roll, it'll reset the camera. Alright, let's change up our dice pool. Go ahead and hit the plus button in the lower left. That's going to bring up the die pool editor. What you're seeing here is a scrollable list of all your dice. I don't have a lot in here right now, but this will eventually grow. In the top of the pool editor are various tools that help you manage this view. You can touch any of those buttons from D4 through D20 to just filter by that die type, and you can hit all to view everything. Or you can use the tags feature, which is probably the most powerful way to manage your collection. So if I select the test game tag, you will see 5 dice that I've said belong to my test game. As a quick preview of how to set these up, I'm going to jump over to Manage and add a new tag. I'm going to pick this black pirate die and say it's part of my untitled adventure game. And now when I jump back to Roll, I can sort by adventure game, and there it is. Next, let's clear that dice pool and start putting in some custom dice. You can clear the whole thing by clicking the trash can button to the right. Each time I tap one of my dice at top, you'll see it gets added to the pool. If I decided I added too many, I can click the little X's on the individual dice to pare this down. And of course, if you want to add different dice to a dice pool, you absolutely can. I'm going to go to my D6s, find the white pirate die, and add a couple of those. Alright, let's roll them. In a lot of tabletop games, you'll probably find yourself rolling the same die pools over and over. Instead of having to set those up every single time, the History tab is a great way to see a chronological list of all of your previous rolls. All you have to do is touch any one of those, and it's going to reload those dice back into your dice pool. Last, I want to talk about roll options, which is in the lower left. A few of these are a little more advanced, and we'll talk about them in a future tutorial. Roll location lets you roll in different places. By default, you're going to be rolling on your own device, but you can also use peer-to-peer connections to roll on a friend's device. You can use AirPlay to roll off to an Apple TV, and you can also roll in AR. The middle column lets you change up the table backgrounds. Sometimes you might want light versus dark, you might find certain dice look better on different backgrounds, so this is an easy way to change that up. And then there's 2 options on the right. Ignore shared table mode for right now. We'll also talk about that in a future tutorial. Alright, last option, lower right, audio. So you can toggle that on if you do or don't want to hear the dice sounds. And that's the basics of rolling in Game Author. And again, huge thanks for checking out the app and the YouTube channel. Stay tuned for future tutorials because I am going to be recording more of these. And if there's things that you specifically want to learn about, please post those in the comments below and I will make sure and read them. Thanks again.